Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Vlogmas episode 5. Yeah! Now you guys will know if you've watched the other Vlogmases that we're doing Vlogmas with a twist. We're doing a Disney tip per day from December 1st till December 25th, and all of our tips are for traveling to Disney parks around the world. And today we're going to be going back to Walt Disney World in Florida, because we're going to be talking about my favorite table service restaurants which are inside the parks. Now if you're anything like me, you'll like to maximize your time that you spend in a Walt Disney World park, and because of that reason I tend not to move between parks when I decide which park I'm going to go to for a day. I just tend to stick it out in that one park. Now I've done a lot of research on table service restaurants in Walt Disney World, and it seems like there are a bunch of really good ones in the hotels. But again, because I'm trying to maximize my time, I tend not to leave the parks. So I like to eat at the parks, and if there are great table service restaurants, I prefer to go to those than traveling all the way around the resort area and finding one in the hotels. Now you could say that's not the best idea. I do want to try a few more of the hotel restaurants, but today let's talk about my favorite ones which are inside of the parks. So let's start out in Hollywood Studios, which is the park that probably has the least amount of choices given the amount of renovation that's going on there. I quite like Mama Melrose's. The food is pretty good. You get a good Fantasmic dining package there, which works out quite nicely if you're going to Fantasmic in the evening. And the theming in there is fantastic. But more than that, I actually like the sci-fi dine-in theatre restaurant, which is a bit of a controversial choice actually. I know a few people recently have been saying that they didn't think the food was as good as other times that they've been there, but my experience in the sci-fi diner was great. I thought the theming of that place was amazing. The cars watching up at the theatre, feeling like you were outside in some American town. It was fantastic. I thought it was really good. My burger was great. My dessert was massive. It was ice cream on top of some donut, but it was absolutely brilliant. So I really quite like that. Probably the best meal I had at Hollywood Studios is actually at the Hollywood Brown Derby restaurant though. I did that with Dining with an Imagineer. That was a set menu, but it was really quite good. I don't know if I'd pay 2 dining credits for it though. So if I was going to go to Hollywood Studios, I'd probably stick with the Sci-Fi Diner restaurant and then Mama Melrose's as a backup. In Animal Kingdom, there's really only one choice for a table service restaurant, and that is Yak and Yeti. In fact, Yak and Yeti is so good that if I was going to Animal Kingdom for 2 days, I would just go back to Yak and Yeti again. It was that fantastic. The Very food is really cool. It's kind of like super Asian fusion. So like Asian fusion in London would be like it's the same, like it's China and some countries around China, but Asian fusion in Yak and Yeti is just like everything. Chinese, Thai, Nepalese, like the whole works. But it really does work. The food is great. The cheese wontons, I think it was cheese wontons, or like some dessert wontons, they were really fantastic. I had coconut shrimp there, absolutely unbelievable. And I think my brother had the honey chicken, and he said that was fantastic. The food there was great. Theming, beautiful. A really nice restaurant, and so if you're in Animal Kingdom, forget about going anywhere else, just go there. In recent years, Magic Kingdom has added a couple of really good table service restaurants to their list, and a few of my favorites are actually these recent restaurants. One of them is the Skipper Canteen for the Jungle Cruises, a new sort of sister restaurant. The food there is really good, and it's a beautiful area. It's themed so well next to Jungle Cruise. It looks like it really is what it's supposed to be, kind of the place that the Jungle Cruise people hang out, and all of your servers have the same crazy jokes that they have inside of the Jungle Cruise itself, which is awesome. I had the fried fish there last time. It was rather exquisite, very filling, very filling. Another new-ish one is the Be Our Guest restaurant. I suppose that still counts as new-ish, a little bit. It wasn't there when I first went to Walt Disney World, so we'll count that as new. The Be Our Guest restaurant is beautiful. I know a few people have said that they don't feel like the food marries up to the sort of experience of being inside of the Beast Castle and inside of the ballroom. I ate there at lunch and I ate there at dinner, and I thought it was great both times. I sort of agree with the feedback there that some people feel like the food could be just a little bit better to match that experience, but I think the place is so beautiful itself that it really makes up for it. I have also heard a few people say say that the breakfast is really fantastic and it's quick service. So if you want to experience a Be Our Guest restaurant but you want a really good dining experience, maybe switch it for breakfast instead of doing it later on in the day. Finally, my favourite character buffet is in Magic Kingdom as well, and that is the Crystal Palace, where you get to meet Winnie the Pooh and friends. It's super cute, it's fantastic buffet food in the middle of the parks, can't complain. Now for every foodie's heaven park, and that is Epcot. There is so much to eat at Epcot, and I've only really scratched the surface of the park. So this is a very basic opinion of the Epcot restaurants because there's so many that I haven't tried. But these are the ones that I absolutely loved, which I went to when we were there last time. So the first one is Le Cellier. So Le Cellier was the only signature dine that we went to when we were in Walt Disney World last year. It was apart from Hollywood Brown Derby, but that was Dine with Imagineer. It was more of an experience. This one we actually did spend 2 table service credits on at the Cellier. That was the best steak I've ever eaten in my life. It was beautiful. Our server, Caitlin, was so good that I still remember her name a year and a half later. It's actually a little bit crazy. And the pie, the Nanaimo pie that I had to close, was exquisite. The ice wine, also the ice wine, beautiful. Oh my god. First time I tried ice wine, it was such a brilliant experience. And the place itself looks unbelievable, and it was extremely relaxing, lovely for a midday lunch. I can't praise Le Cellier enough. There were 2 other restaurants in Epcot that I absolutely loved, and one was actually a really interesting surprise, but I'll leave that one for the end. The first one is Via Napoli, the pizzeria in the Italian Pavilion. And this was recommended by Molly Buck. I watched a lot of her videos before going to Walt Disney World, and she loved this restaurant so much that I had to go. And this, first of all, I love Napoli style pizza. Generally, it's fantastic. It's my favorite style of pizza. And that restaurant does a very, very good Napoli style pizza. Being named Via Napoli, you'd hope that they would. They also served really huge arancini balls, and they were fantastic as well. God, I'm sort of salivating just thinking about it. But that was a great restaurant, so I'd recommend that. It's also 1 dining credit, which is great. The other one, which was a surprising one, was actually the Princess Dining at Akershus, the restaurant in the Norway Pavilion. Now, we decided to go here because we felt that the Cinderella's Royal Table was perhaps a little bit too, how do I put this? It's a little bit too tailored for little kids. So it seemed like a beautiful experience, but it seemed like the people that would get the most out of it would be the little kids who went to Cinderella's Royal Table. It's also 2 dining credits. So instead of going to that one, we went to Akershus, and we still got to meet princesses and take pictures with them. But we also got to enjoy some fantastic Norwegian food. Now, I've not had a load of Norwegian food in my life, but this was really, really good. So if the rest of it is like this, send me to Norway. The desserts I had there, perhaps with the exception of the Nanaimo pie from Le Cellier in the Canadian Pavilion, the desserts in the Norway Pavilion were unbelievable. They come in 1 tray. There is a rice pudding, a caramel apple cake, and a chocolate mousse square, and they were so good. I have dreams about them still. It was that amazing. And it's also really fantastic because it's another place to meet princesses. If you don't get a booking at Cinderella's Royal Table, stress not. Go to Akershus, you'll have great food, you'll still meet princesses, it'll be a really good day out. So that's it for my tips on Walt Disney World in-park table service restaurants. Maybe later on in this Vlogmas series I'll do one for quick service restaurants as well, because I've got a few good recommendations for that too. But thank you so much for watching today. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. I haven't planned it yet. So I'll see you all for Vlogmas 6, which will be a surprise. See you then. Bye.